Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the Pinkfresh Studio January release blog hop, and I have a couple of fun projects to share with you using some of these fabulous new products. I'm going to start with what's this called? The Floral Outline Frame Die Set. Comes with a beautiful intricate floral frame as well as a word die with a shadow. It's like two die sets in one. I die cut this into a panel of white cardstock. I used hammer mill. It's not too thick, so it die cut beautifully. I did use a metal shim to get a real clean cut. And then I have a panel of cream cardstock. So I thought that white die cut would look nice on the cream, but before I adhere it onto the cream panel, I'm gonna strip it up. And so I'm gonna go corner to corner, like just angle it, just like living on the edge. So I went ahead and pre-trimmed some strips. I just eyeballed them. I don't want them to be the same thickness. I like the variation. Some of this is Concord 9th. There's a few strips of Papertrey ink in there. Might be a little Simon Says stamp. I will have all the cardstocks linked, but I like to use them all. I love all the colors. Oh, actually, I think that one might be Hero Arts Pesto. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over the floral outline frame, and I'm going to put little dots of glue. Not the whole thing, just a little bit to hold it down in the center. Just to hold her down. And I love that white die cut over a cream panel. And now for that word die that's included in this die set. It says Keep Smiling. I did that out of some matte gold and a little vellum for the shadow backer. Again, I'm going to glue this onto that vellum shadow backer. I didn't stack it up. A lot of times I do like to stack up my word dies for a little dimension, but today, keeping it simple. I'm using Barely Arts liquid glue. I love that needle tip. Lets you get in the nooks and crannies of this Keep Smiling. Now, one thing you got to remember is that smiling has two tittles. So you got to remember to put those tittles on there, and that's when the embellishment wand comes in real handy dandy. And there you have a beautiful word die. I did put some little slivers of foam tape. Now you want to go horizontal, you want to go landscape, portrait, figure it out. I don't think there's a wrong way to go. I went ahead and went landscape. Now this is controversial, but I cropped off 1/4 of an inch on each side. Didn't have to do it, but I just love a little bit of a cropped panel on a white card base. You know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then to finish it off, I did some of these gold metallic drops. These are by Pinkfresh Studio as well. And there you have that. Keep smiling, keep shining. Isn't that an old Dionne Warwick song, if I remember correctly? Anybody know? Okay, I'm moving on to card number 2. I've got a panel of white cardstock, and I'm going to do this beautiful Magnolia Pattern. There's a stamp and a stencil combination. So I'm going to emboss this beautiful Magnolia Pattern in gold on this panel of white cardstock. So I rub down my panel with a magic powder bag, ink it up with Versamark ink, stamp it a couple times, then pour on some Simon Says Stamp gold embossing powder. When you want to feel real fancy like, emboss in gold. That's what I say. Okay, I don't do it enough. Now, I really have been enjoying embossing on this glass mat by Simon Says Stamp. It's a handy little thing to emboss on or to do wet medium. Okay, moving on to the stencil. This is the Magnolia Pattern stencil set, and I believe there are 6 stencils in this set that allow you to add effortless color to your Magnolia Pattern stamped images. Now, you don't have to use a stencil to add the color. You could color in the images with Copics, or you could watercolor, or however you like to add color. But I do love a good coordinating stencil set. I really do. I love it so much. And I'm using Pinkfresh Studio inks, starting with Coral Reef. Get a nice little light coral there happening. I like to get a little bit of gradient. So one side I'll do darker than the other. Just adds a little bit of interest. Okay, moving on to the next stencil. I'm not really sure if I'm going in numerical order, but I just grabbed the one on top. Now this next one I'm using Passion Fruit, which is the next shade darker than the Coral Reef, and it's a nice pop of cherry red coming right at you. Again, I try to do a little bit gradient, but not too much. A little dabble do. And then look at how this is coming together. Now, at any given time, you can just stop. You don't have to use all the stencils. Just Go with what feels good to you. This one here, I pulled out orange, Clementine, just because. No rhyme or reason. I'm just having a heyday. This is one thing I'm really trying to do in the new year, just to have fun. Just to play and enjoy and have fun, not take it too seriously, not try to make earth-shattering, blow-your-mind cards, because sometimes that gets to be too much pressure. And I want to just have fun. So no rules, no fuss, no muss, okay? And then this we've got Aquamarine, and I did a little Meadow for the stems and the leaves. And there you have a beautiful blended background. I love how the stencil left some of the things white, because I love a good white space. Now for the sentiment, I'm using these new wonderful Sentiments stamp set, and there are coordinating dies. There's also coordinating hot foil plate, so if you didn't want to stamp or emboss your sentiment, you could foil it up. But I'm going to emboss a sentiment in white on a little strip of black cardstock. This is going to be kind of a thank you card. Thanks for everything. And can I just say, the font on this is really special. I really dig it. Okay, taking the coordinating die to cut that out. Now I'm going to do, since I stripped it up on the first card, I kind of want to, I'm in the stripping up zone. So I thought, let's do a little bit on this one too. I use the same colors, a little bit thinner strips, just a few here. And it really does kind of wake up the card. It's like when you have a nice rich dish of pasta sauce or whatever you're making, soup, anything, and you just add a little spritz of lemon. It kind of wakes it up. That's what a good old stripping up panel will do. It just kind of wakes it up. So I pop that up, popping up my sentiment, and then I'll pop up this panel on a white card base. Everything's getting popped up. Not doing a real good job of reining in the dimension on this one, but I'll finish it off with a few more of these gold metallic drops. And card number 2 is finished. Oh, featuring that beautiful Magnolia Pattern background and the wonderful Sentiments stamp set. Make sure and check out the rest of the Pinkfresh Studio January release blog hop. I hope you enjoy this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.